Gone is the V6 engine in the Toyota 4Runner, and in its place, a turbocharged 4. So what sort of fuel economy does that get you when cruising on the highway? Tonight we find out. Hey everybody, it's Charlie from DM Moto, and today we've got the real-world highway fuel economy test on the 2025 Toyota 4Runner. In this test, we're going to head out on the highway and do 50 miles out and 50 miles back, averaging 70 miles per hour, to get a realistic fuel economy number for this off-road crossover. I guess it's technically an SUV, isn't it, with a body on frame. But either way, before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. Yes, fortunately, for once, we're not getting some off-road oriented trim of one of these vehicles. It's simply a limited, and it's the non-hybrid as well. You can get a hybrid version of this, making more power and a little bit better city fuel economy, but this one is a little bit more affordable without the hybrid technology. Simply a turbocharged inline-4 engine and an 8-speed transmission, and this one we're driving is 4-wheel drive. So if you do want to see more on the 4Runner, check the link below. I'll probably be taking it out to some off-road trails and giving you my thoughts and impressions after spending the week with it. We're also going to do a dedicated review of the JBL sound system, so check the links below if you want to see those. So why do we do this test? Well, the EPA's fuel economy test, which gives this 4Runner 24 miles per gallon as you're seeing it, that test only averages 48 miles per hour. We know there are plenty of people who use their vehicles on long highway trips and would like to know what sort of numbers you can realistically expect when cruising at steady state higher speeds here in the real world. So in order to test it out, we're heading over to the gas station here. I'm going to fill it up, go out and do 100 miles, come back, fill up at the same pump using the same 3-click fueling method, and get a result. Now a few things to note for the test. Outside temperature is presently 76 degrees Fahrenheit, but that'll be down to about 70 or so once we hit the coast. Sorry, I was just observing the plastic glove on the hand of this Cayenne owner. Also realizing my window is open. Yes, outside temperature. The tire pressure has been set at their door placard, 33 psi cold, and we're going to run the climate control at 73 degrees auto. So let's go fill it up. We are all fueled up, put in just over 2 gallons, and before we start, we're going to reset the trip computer here, reset the fuel economy, got our GPS reset, climate control 73 auto, and we're ready to begin. We do have a few different drive modes. We've got Sport, Sport S. Why is there Sport S, Sport S Plus, Normal, Comfort, and Eco? All right, I take issue with this right away. First of all, why isn't Normal comfortable? Why are there 2 different drive modes between Normal and Comfort? Secondly, why do you need a Sport Plus drive mode in a 4Runner with the base powertrain? That seems a bit goofy to me. Was there a tow mode as well? Well, there's a custom mode, and then there's tow haul here you can press. So that's getting over the line, Toyota. Come on, just give us Eco, Normal, Sport. You have that in most of your other cars, and I could even see the argument for getting rid of Eco, and I could also see the argument of not having a Sport mode in this car. But anyway, we're going to do this test in Eco drive mode. We're going to take it nice and easy over to the highway. It's about half a mile away, and pick up the test from there. Now the goal of this test isn't to hypermile. We're not trying to get the best possible fuel economy for this truck, but rather a realistic figure. So in order to do that, we're getting up to highway speed here at a reasonable pace, and I'm going to set my cruise control at a GPS indicated 71 miles per hour. That should allow us to average 70 over the whole test. And we do have some crossbars on this model, unfortunately, so we're getting a little bit of wind noise from that, but it shouldn't be terrible. Noticing a bit of road noise as well in this concrete section of highway. But speedometer seems to be about, actually fairly spot on with our GPS, maybe about half a mile per hour high or so. Let's settle in at 71, maybe 72, because Toyotas often like to do 1 mile per hour lower than they're set at. Let's see. No, I guess 71. 71's giving us 71 on the GPS, pretty spot on there. We do have an active lane keeping, I believe, so let's dial that up. Oh, it's already dial that up here. Okay, be fun to try out over the test. Report back on that. Get this closed. Yeah, a little bit of road noise, but other than that, doesn't seem like a bad place to be. So I'm going to continue on with the test and catch up with you at the end. I'm going to test out this 14-speaker JBL sound system for the members-only track. If you want to see that, check the link below. In the meantime, enjoy this time-lapse of the entire trip.
Trying out the highway, just me and my brand new ride. Watching that screen for miles per gallon, hoping for a sign. The old V6 is history, engine's got a whole new roar. Now I'm chasing numbers in this turbo 4, counting every mile, counting every mile. Used to fill up often, now I'm checking less at the pump. Miss that old familiar hum, but I'm giving change a jump. Everything's a little quicker, but the sound's a little thin. Guess that's what you trade for saving at the end. It's a world of difference under the hood. Feels strange.
Coming into the end of the highway fuel economy test here in the 4Runner Limited. Pretty smooth run, honestly. Aside from this one corner, once I started filming here, people doing 55 miles per hour, been a smooth run. It's fine in here. There's nothing bad. It's just still a body-on-frame truck. It's just not as comfortable as a lot of the soft roaders that we've been in lately. And some of you watching will go, oh yeah, of course, it's a 4Runner. It's super off-road capable. Why would you expect it to be? I'm just thinking more of the people who are going to buy a limited trim like this and use it as a daily driver and never really take it off-road. You're making so many sacrifices. And one of those sacrifices is the fuel economy. According to the vehicle's readout, only getting 22 MPG. Pretty abysmal for a vehicle of this size, if you ask me. To be getting below EPA like that by, what would that be, 5% or so? Not fantastic. No, that'd be 10%, wouldn't it be? Yeah, almost 10% below EPA. It's 24. So we'll see what we get once we actually crunch the numbers, but not super impressive. In terms of the tack shot, it's like we're cruising just a little bit under 2,000 RPM here at 70 miles per hour. Pretty standard fare there. JBL sound system is pretty darn good, though. I was impressed by that. I had a lot of good time listening to the members only track. So again, if that's something interesting to you, check the link below to see our review on it. I'm trying to come up with more, but it's pretty uneventful. The active lane tracing did work pretty well. I like that it gives you a pretty apparent warning sign when it's going to need you to touch the steering wheel. It doesn't beep right away, so that's good. Pretty confident, pretty smooth. Active cruise control worked well. So, yeah, not too much more to say. I'm going to get it back to the pump, fill it up, and then tomorrow morning we'll crunch our final numbers. We are back and all fueled up. Last night we ended up putting in a total of 4.519 gallons here into the tank of the 4Runner. So if we go 100.3 miles traveled divided by that 4.519, we're getting, a little bit better than the vehicle's readout, but still 2 miles per gallon lower than EPA, 22 miles per gallon here for the 4Runner Limited. Is there a possibility that those roof rails are dropping our fuel economy? Yeah, I could see them taking off a few percentage points, but not enough to really be substantial, and that's a fairly substantial amount here. So a little disappointing to see that kind of figure. Fortunately, Toyota throws a 19-gallon fuel tank on here, so 19 gallons times that 22 miles per gallon is giving you an acceptable highway cruising range of 410 miles here in the Toyota 4Runner Limited for 2025. So, I understand that they're moving to inline fours, turbocharged inline fours for other reasons, and I bet the city fuel economy is going to be quite a bit better than the 4Runners of before. I wonder, I don't think we've tested any 4Runner other than the TRD Pro. Let me see. Okay, so the last generation TRD Pro that we tested with the all-terrain tires and the lift and everything and the huge roof rack, that one got 19 miles per gallon in our testing. So for this one to only be up to 22 with the all-season tires, interesting. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the new 4Runner, check the link below. We're going to be doing our full coverage suite, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.